What's going on, everybody? Happy Patriotic Pride Month, everyone. Since last month, everyone else in that whole alphabet community got entire Pride Month. Well, guess what?
Yes,
it's
indeed.
Patriotic Pride Month in July. So happy Patriotic Pride Month, everybody. I am still sporting my pride flag behind me, the U.S. flag. That's the only flag that anybody should be taking pride in. Looks like once again, I am not able to stream to Kick. I don't know what the fuck is going on. It's happening again. That's weird. I don't know why, but we are streaming though on so many different sources though. We are on Odyssey and Rumble and all these other damn places, and I'm proud to be there. I'm looking forward to building an audience in all these locations. I've said it before. All these locations are in the channel description. Please subscribe to them as well, because you never know, Papa Susan, this channel on YouTube could disappear like that. So please do check out those channels and show some support over there, at least as a backup if this one ever disappears. So thank everybody. Thank you all for being here. We are going to get into some heavy topics here, as we always do on Knife Hands. This is not the fun show like Skinamax Saturday. This is where we are going to get, today especially, we're gonna get really fucking pissed. I know Mr. Raster there gave us a little bit of hint on last Saturday about where he feels when we were gonna talk about this Sound of Freedom thing Saturday, and I'm kind of happy we didn't get around to it, because this is gonna be a heavy topic, very heavy topic, and Raster there has some pretty angry words to talk about with that. So before we do that, let's go around the horn and say hello to everybody. We'll start with Mr. Rastercaster down there. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. I just want to say that it's just ridiculous. Just completely ridiculous. They should be really ashamed of themselves, for posting those articles against this movie. And, the other thing, loving kids like that. Well, abusing kids like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's not the word.
Yeah. This is, dude. I mean,
if anyone's getting that reference or whatever, that was actually from Dirty Job, Dirty Work or whatever with
Dirty Jobs with Mike Rowe.
The prison scene.
No, not Dirty Jobs with Mike Rowe. Dirty Work. That had Ari Lang in it, right?
Yeah. He goes in there and he basically gets butt fucked or whatever, and he is like, this is ridiculous, guys. Y'all should be really ashamed of yourselves. You know what really hurts is the lack of respect.
I'm he's like,
and the other thing,
wow,
ridiculous.
So
I have half the mind to go to the warden about this.
Who was the actor who did that? Was that
Oh god!
Was that the comedian who died recently?
Yeah. Dadgummit, his name skips in mind. His face that he was on SNL and Norm Macdonald.
Norm Macdonald. That's right. Yeah. So if you can imagine Norm Macdonald coming out of the prison shower after he just got raped, just picture that in your head. This is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
What is it? The lack of respect.
He's a treasure.
Yes, yes, he is.
I have half the mind to go to Mama Susan about this.
Green-haired anti-liberal. We call her Gal. How's it going?
Don't sound so enthused.
I mean, no, it's just like my level of enthusiasm is just related to the topic we're gonna get at in this fucking video. So it's no lack of enthusiasm on having you here. Trust me, I love having you here.
Yeah, you didn't bring sandwiches, so I mean, shit.
I was a little unenthused. Wow! That's where you went with that. That was worse than what I was.
Only because I know she can take a joke. That's why.
Yes, I can. Hi, thanks for bringing me on like usual. It's good to be here. You can check me out on YouTube and Rumble, Green-Haired Anti-Liberal, as well as Twitter and Instagram. I actually just dropped a video about one of the topics today. I dropped it yesterday, my reaction and kind of a small discussion about the Sound of Freedom. So check that out, guys.
Excellent.
I'd
Absolutely.
appreciate it.
Yeah. Her link, as well as everyone else, is in the video description below. So please show some love to Gal.
I would also like to say that's 3 videos before Raster.
Yes, this is true.
Yeah, keep count.
Wow.
I'm a Marine. I gotta Brag where I can.
That's right. Show up those damn Air Force.
Banked up and down the fucking flight line, boy.
This is gonna be
I do want to say before we hail to the chat, I see some people popping in here. I hope if you are coming here for the heavy topic that trust me, we'll get to it, but we do have to get up the goofiness like we always do first.
Yes.
So I hope you can understand that. Speaking of goofy, hi Ryan.
Well, hello. There's a you know what? I just want to address this real quick because god damn it. Fucking where the hell did it go, devil? He's like false advertising. None of these people have knife hands. Motherfucker, if you get a fucking knife hand in your face, it's because you fuck up. That's why. That's why it's called knife hands. All right.
I mean, we will if you really want us to.
We could talk about relationships like Dermy does.
Just go ahead and open up, Rastard. Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, do not bring Dermy into this. I'm doing good. If I have a little bit of an echo, it's because I'm sitting in pretty much an empty room. That's why I have a background. I will be.
It's Raster's jail cell.
It's Raster's jail cell.
Puts the lotion on its skin.
It puts the lotion on its skin, or it gets the hose again. So yeah, no, this I don't know who has actually seen the movie. I have seen the movie, and I understand why it has a lot of people up in arms. I think Raster could probably agree with this, seen a lot of stuff, so it didn't unfortunately bother me as much as most, but it is very bothersome. So I can add some details to that, but yes, it's very disgusting how the media decided to portray this movie. There's no political bias in it. It's just talking about the fact that children are trafficked around the world, and that's all I'm gonna say. We'll get into it.
Well, I think what's interesting is that really what's appearing is that there is a political biases, and the biases is that on the right side we want to protect kids, and the left doesn't.
It's also a lot of ignorance and everything on the but what kills me is that there's ignorance. Like, okay, I mean the general population is just as ignorant to how much it goes on, and one of the biggest things that's really pissing me off about this is that the media is preying on that ignorance and basically making it worse, because I mean they're downplaying it to a point now where it's dangerously downplaying it, and I'm like, no, this is actually a really bad issue. There's crap out there that, and we'll get into it later, about things that you can look for that you'll sit there and you think nothing of it before, but then you see some signs out there about where this is actually a real occurring thing that you would think is just a normal thing.
Yeah, no, we're definitely going to get into it. I have a feeling we'll so here's the thing, that was going to be our first topic, but I just put a tweet out that we had some breaking news that Sheila dropped for us, and we're going to talk about that first because it's not super heavy, but I have a good feeling that once we get onto that topic, I have a feeling it's just going to take over the entire show, and I'll be fine with that. But we will get to that here in a minute. First, I'm going to highlight this. Yes, Sheila, I am sober. Thank you. Looking good. Appreciate that.
I am halfway, so that's because it's been a long fucking couple of days. So
I'm gonna say that we will still play the drinking game, so to speak. But I don't have any liquor in the house right now. We're not gonna take shots. However, any single chat that drops, I do have some beer right here. I haven't been drinking a lot today, but every single drink we'll do a social. And here's the thing: am I the only one who understands what social means? Is that just something that came from my hometown?
No.
Yeah,
no,
I
I
never heard
understand.
that shit.
No, I understand what that means. Yeah,
it was. We always do a drinking games. Especially there's like a one of the games like when something happened, and then that means social, and everyone drinks together. So I'm glad to know at least people.
So people around you just say social, and y'all all just take a sip out of a glass. I was like, you say take a sip, fuck.
Social does mean we all drink together, and we will do that.
Do you put your pinky out when you do it too?
All drink.
I've heard both. I can't. It's not that gay.
That's some pansy sounding shit.
Well, it just got gayer.
Putting that little pinky out when he takes his little sippy sip.
Jesus, guys.
Why are you gay?
Like, don't make sure the
That's
umbrella
my
doesn't
date when
flip
I
around
do
the
it.
other side and hit you in the face when you take that little sip.
Okay. Before this turns into Skinamax Saturday, let's go on to a topic after we highlight some chats. If you could do so, please, Mr. Ryan, say hello to our wonderful audience here.
Yes, absolutely. Blue Core Devil says, "Hey there, Adam, and everyone else." Absolutely.
Cheers to you, brother.
Cheers to you. Blue Cord also says, Joe Walsh of the Eagles said he isn't worried about the AI unit that can destroy a hotel room on tour. I don't understand that joke, but cool.
He's not worried about AI until it can destroy a hotel room like a rock band does.
All right, Sheila Aliens, who hasn't been on the show in a while, but because she's doing other stuff, she's getting all weird and shit with that alien stuff. Hunter is suing Trump. He sent him a cease and desist. This is the first I've heard of it.
This Obviously, is the topic we will be covering here.
We'll be covering, yes, absolutely. Sheila, thank you so much for the link to that, especially because it's ABC News. Oh no,
that is shocking.
Sorry. It's going to be louder in here because of the cats. I'm sorry, scrolling down. Here we go. Blue Core Devil, that is true, but this time it was caught on camera, rubbing his head and nose several times. Oh, what else is new? Yes, he is a flipping mess. Blue Court says that's the understatement of the year. And okay, I'm gonna have to bounce a little bit further. This Shepherd's Hook. God's children are not for sale.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
That is in the movie. Thank you. I love that line.
Yeah.
And the delivery on the line was amazing.
Incredible. Sheila says, vet squatching.
So I've been doing some videos when I get inspiration to talk about stuff while I'm out hiking, and just so happened it was a hot day, and I did my video with the shirt off, and I have a hairy chest.
Yeah, we saw that.
And she
looked like a hobo version of Bane.
You look like the gay version of Bane. I'm not gonna, because you had like the little shoulder straps and the thing underneath your chest. It's like it's the port the boobies.
It's my
He's like, you enjoy the asshole. I was born from the asshole.
It's my freaking camelback, you dumbasses.
No shit.
Show the photo. It looks like you got like a fucking support bra on.
Let's do that. Let's do
Devil made me do it. Go ahead and Photoshop a Bane mask on him.
Sup? What is up, Bush McFadden? Sheila says, I see something about ISM on her screen. Nice.
Yeah, I realized I had the website up in the background.
It also looks like you have a video game up. What the hell is that?
No, it's just my Meta PC background.
Yeah, looks like Zelda.
It's a badass background. Normally I change it to like photos and stuff, but when I turned it on, I was like, this is cool as shit. I'm leaving this.
Yes, Shepherd's Hook says it was the appointed time to come out. Bush McFadden says the media outed themselves. Yep. Craig Thayer says Epstein's clients don't like the movie Surprise. Hog Fam Canada. Yeah.
Hangover gang.
Yeah, social drinking means you sit by yourself and black out. Right? Yes, Bush. That's how I usually interpret it. Shepherd's Hook says, "I will send you all a dictionary. Verbally challenged much? Yes, I am I'm a high functioning retard, and you will not tell me otherwise."
That's military. Yep.
And Shepherd says, "Truck hike hit most major trails. Live by the AT." Oh yeah, absolutely.
What's the AT?
Basically. All terrain.
Oh, is that the Appalachian Trail?
I would assume is like an ATV.
I think Shepard's talking about the Appalachian Trail, which is so when I lived in Vermont, the Appalachian Trail actually passed through. That's actually like where it starts, and then it goes like almost the entire East Coast. It's a long fucking trail.
No. I do know about that one. Shepard says laugh out loud, so he's laughing. I'm assuming at me. So. I'm from Colorado, but you can actually there's actually a bike trail that goes from the western slope of Colorado all the way to the eastern slope, where you actually bike or walk or whatever you want to do, hike that trail all the way across the state. It's really cool.
Yeah. There's obviously with the Appalachian Trail, because it's the Appalachian Mountains, so the trail goes all the way through there. The Mother Trail.
Oh.
Well, but yeah, I've hiked part of the Appalachian Trail, and one of my favorite beers out there was Long Trail, named for the Appalachian Trail, part in Vermont. So, all right, well,
was it a pumpkin beer?
I like pumpkin beer. Shut the fuck up.
I know you do. All right, let's get into serious stuff.
Yeah, let's get on to this. And again, I do want to remind everybody who might be watching anywhere else. I see we got some people watching some of the other sources. I can't pull it up on screen, but I will highlight you and I will say hi. I appreciate everyone who's watching on Rumble, Kick, Odyssey, all those different sources. And yeah, and also the drinking rules apply to you guys too. And any support for the channel is greatly appreciated. And I will cheers to all of you. So let's get on with this first article. As the wonderful Sheila Alien let us know that, hold up here, Hunter Biden's lawyer sends cease and desist letter to Trump over social media posts. I have not read this. I pulled this up literally like 5 minutes before the stream started. So I hate these damn advertisements to just stay there. I can't even get rid of it. So yeah, I haven't read this. So let's get into this real quick and get into the nitty gritty on what old crackhead Hunter is talking about. An attorney for Hunter Biden sent a cease and desist letter on Thursday to former President Donald Trump's legal team, claiming that Trump's rhetoric on social media and elsewhere could lead Hunter Biden or his family could lead to Hunter Biden or his family's injury.
Injury?
Yeah, because all those Secret Service agents aren't enough to keep you guys protected if somebody wants to do so. Okay. Ab Lau, one of the younger Biden's lawyers, cited past examples when Trump's language allegedly inspired violence, notably the January 6th attacks on the Capitol, where he said, "March peacefully and patriotically." Real violent. The October attack on Speaker Nancy Pelosi's husband, Paul Pelosi. Really?
Hey,
his hammer boyfriend?
Yeah, his gay lover.
Yeah, his hammer time.
Am I forgetting? Was accusations really out there that it was Trump that caused that to happen?
Yes.
Good Lord, these people are insane.
Yes.
And the man arrested near Obama's Washington, D.C. residence last month with an arsenal of firearms. I don't remember that one.
Well, you know, a cease and desist really isn't anything. They can just tell you, like, that's basically, will you please start hurt? You're going to hurt my feelings. And you're like, no, pure pound sand.
Well, it's also what Trump got for it was basically a gag order. It's kind of the same thing. You know, a cease and desist means, you know, in civilian terms, that's you know, you need to stop saying this, you need to stop slandering me. And of course, a gag order does the same thing. You're not to talk about this, you're not to talk about that, and it's like,
well, gag orders by the court.
Yes, it is by court. So
it's by an attorney and has no power.
Yes, exactly.
It's just a warning.
Yeah, it's so literally one is basically done by the judicial branch and the other one is done basically it can go into civil liability if you are proven to have slandered somebody. Adam, I'll let you get that.
All right. Yeah.
I'll highlight a couple of chats here while you're doing that. Amy, sorry. Blue Court says Pacific Crest Trail is Mexico to Canada. That's wild. Amy Ballard, Tim Pool raised $40,000 tonight for Sound of Freedom and its organizations. He matched super chats. That's cool. I think that's a good. You know, Tim Pool's not my favorite, but he does do some good stuff. Yep, I just watched because Tim Ballard was on. Oh, I didn't. Oh, I'll watch that.
Okay, I guess I'll go.
I'll go watch that. Who says attack on the Capitol? Do they mean when the FBI knocked down the barricade and broke windows? Yeah, you know,
that's exactly what.
When Ray Epps is out there instigating, telling people to go in and smashing people's signs, and he gets onto the FBI most wanted list, but he never gets arrested. Yeah, that incident.
I just wanted to highlight this because that's me. So Blue Court. I tried to comment earlier as myself, but apparently it's under yours now, to where last Saturday it was under mine. I don't know. StreamYards is weird. It happens, guys. In saying agnostic,
Insane Gnostic. Not sure what that means.
Not sure either. Bush says they're fascists. It's green. They are completely unable to think for themselves or question the government, and they attack those who do. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
They're useful idiots. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, and this article doesn't really go much further. But I guess it's not really a lawsuit, but it's a fucking, well, I mean, it's still just a joke though. It's just another way for for the Bidens to try to push the mainstream media to attack Trump. So I mean, they're trying to push that Biden, or that Trump is putting violent rhetoric out there against poor little baby Hunter. So,
did you see him do a bump on at the White House event where he kind of like turned from the camera? He's like,
no, I did see on one though, Biden and the wife there, whatever, and all of a sudden Hunter like passes behind them and he's going like this.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Is that the one?
You can actually see where he kind of he does like the nose thing. Yeah. Welcome to Shellback. Hello, sir.
Hey, man. we need a sniffing sound effect to go along with that baby cry.
I can just do this.
Like,
how about just a swift kick in the nuts?
What? Oh no.
You know what's funny is that
no squirrel tapping. No.
These people talk shit about the fact that Trump breathes through his nose all the time. They're like, you can hear him breathe through his nose. How much cocaine is he on? It's like, not as much as your fucking son is. Because fucking Hunter Biden,
your nose in your mouth.
Yeah. Hunter Biden's on enough fucking cocaine to kill a platoon of fucking soldiers.
Absolutely. Hunter's liberal tears are destroying his coke. I mean, so just absolute ridiculousness. I thought about bringing that. What I do want to do is at some point we're going to really get into the Biden scandal and all that. I've been listening and I've been getting a lot of video shots of Dan Bongino, because Dan Bongino's been, I mean, he's doing deep investigation in this and he's compiling a lot of stuff and again, a lot of good information on that. So eventually one of these knife hands, we're just going to deep dive into the ridiculousness that is the Hunter Biden situation. The fact that just the man can do no wrong whatsoever, get away with everything, even though all the evidence is out there that this is just absolute corrupt crime family from the top down. And they've been getting paid off, and it's very obvious that they are agents of China and all the awful connections to Ukraine, and how it's just a piggy bank for them, and that people are dying so these people can make money. So we're going to get into that at some point.
Hey,
allegedly.
Hey,
yeah, you're right. We got to say that.
Hashtag support Ukraine. All right.
Yeah.
Hashtag support Ukraine.
That's another one I thought about. I was watching. I haven't done it a lot lately, but been starting to watch Infowars again. And Owen Troyer was on there, and he was showing a video. Again, allegedly, can't trust if the translations are right or not, but it looks like it was a Ukrainian soldier that got injured and taken prisoner, and the Russian soldier was essentially interrogating him in a very nice way. That's how interrogators do it. They be your friend until they're not. Essentially the way the conversation was going is that the soldier was expressing what there is a widespread belief to be is that the Ukrainians are just done. They're fucking done with this war. They hate Zelensky. There's no morale in the troops anymore. And this Ukrainian looked like he was happy to be captured by the Russians so that he can be taken to Russia and be taken care of better than Ukraine has been taking care of their troops.
I would actually be inclined to believe that, because it just came out, I think yesterday, that we have sent as much money to Ukraine for defense that Russia spends on their military defense.
Yeah.
Like that is fucking her, and that's not including the other countries. Blue Court Devil says they're trying to make Trump waste money defending himself so he doesn't have it to fund his campaign. Well,
yeah.
Good luck with that, because it doesn't matter if the man's behind bars. I'm still going to vote for him. Bush McFadden. this is the most corrupt administration in the history of the nation. I think that's pretty spot on. Allegedly, they have committed the most heinous crimes of any politicians we've had. Allegedly, yeah,
Allegedly.
allegedly.
I need to get that sound effect.
Bush, 3,000 U.S. troops have been okay to be sent. Do you have an article for that, Bush?
Reserves or something.
What the dick?
Well, to be clear, I mean, you might be thinking there's a lot of troops that we have in places like Poland and whatnot as a contingency. Yes. Like my old dude, the 173rd, got sent to, I think, is Poland way early on as a essentially quick reaction force in case things get bad. So we've had troops over there at the ready, not necessarily as in an offensive position, but to be ready to defend in case this spills over to places like Poland or some of the other allied countries.
That's what it sounded like to me, the thing I saw on Twitter. I'll see if I can find it.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what, let's I don't know. We'll if you do find something like that, we'll talk about after this, but let's get into this. No, what did that say?
It said he said nope, they're American reservists, not foreign deployment. Okay, yeah, so yeah, that's what was alluded to.
Okay, so first off, for anyone out there who's been living under a rock and hasn't heard, there's an amazing movie called The Sound of Freedom that came out on the 4th of July. That was portrayed by Jim Caviezel, portraying I believe the guy was a former CIA agent. I still haven't seen the movie yet. Homeland Security, who went on a mission on his own. They organized an operation to save children from a sex crime, sex slavery ring, an entire operation. This is a true story. This is not fake. This is a true story that happened some odd like 10 years ago. I've even got some clips here from, of all things, CBS praising the operation, and the response to this movie is as such. I have a few articles pulled up here. Here's one of them.
Hold on real quick. Let me just add context. Okay, so what it was is that he was actually a Homeland Security agent in charge of basically child trafficking and catching basically child traffickers. Working with outside organizations, also working with Americans inside the United States. So he was sent on a single mission. He got permission to actually go and get this one child. Well, it turned out that the youngest child, a boy, his older sister, was missing too, and she was discovered to be somewhere in the neighborhood of Colombia. And so he asked for permission to go again, and his supervisor said, if I send you, if I remember correctly, he said you have $10,000 tops. That's it. And so once he was actually sent basically on assignment undercover in Colombia with the Colombian government and local law enforcement and stuff like that, didn't turn up a lot of leads. And so his supervisor said, you're done. You need to come home. And he said, because there was a foreign contact, also an American living there who had been formerly a part of I wouldn't say child sex trafficking, but just taking part in prostitution in the area. And there was an older girl in her 20s who had been sex trafficked since she was about 6. And so he started turning over a new leaf, and he was like, I'm going to start helping these kids. And so that's where
shit, did he freeze up, or is that on my end?
No, I think he froze.
He froze up.
Crap.
Hopefully no one cared about spoilers.
Yeah. I was going to say, this would be a good time to say spoiler alert.
Yeah.
No, it's really not that much of a spoiler.
It wasn't too far into it, but I didn't know when you were going to stop. So I'm like,
yeah, you froze up like last 10 seconds.
Okay, yeah. So that's it's probably the cats. Okay, so real quick, and they
freezing your internet? Are they looking at cat porn?
No,
Wow.
the router is now on the floor because I have no furniture. It's
Uh,
like the last bit
Yeah,
of furniture I have is this small desk, and I've had it for a while, and I'm gonna replace it,
yeah.
so it's getting thrown out. But so anyway, they team up. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. No
Yeah,
more.
see, this is proof that that cats are evil agents of chaos. See?
this is absolutely true.
Yeah.
100%.
But they're still
Welcome,
awesome.
Twisted. Welcome, Twisted Pixie. Welcome to the chat.
Hey,
So yeah, everything Ryan just said, it's here's what's incredible. It's an amazing movie. It is killing the box office right now. It is killing it. It is doing so much better than Indiana Jones and the Dial of Dysentery. It is dominating, and it's driving Hollywood and everyone absolutely nuts. And that's why, well, that's not why. Here's what's messed up. So here is the mainstream reaction to it. First off, The Sound of Freedom is a superhero movie made for dads with brain worms. Rolling Stones. Let me make sure this is working. The Sound of Freedom, the QAnon adjacent thriller seducing America. The Guardian. Sound of Freedom is a QAnon smokescreen. AIPT, who are the fuck they are. The Sound of Freedom is an anti-child trafficking fantasy fit for QAnon. Flipboard. Never heard of them either. Ted Cruz rubs shoulders with QAnon promoter and actor Jim Caviezel. Crone. God forbid you should rub shoulders with somebody who wants to stop child sex trafficking. How Hollywood's Jesus, Jim Caviezel, went full QAnon. The Daily Yeast. And this one's the worst one. This one isn't connected to the movie, but it still popped up in my search for some articles from The Atlantic. The Great Fake Child Sex Trafficking Epidemic. This article came out in 2022.
That's
So
from
before
the
the movie-
Atlantic.
The Atlantic.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta keep up with the thing.
So that's the mainstream media's reaction to all this. Now, that is such an interesting pattern. They all talk about QAnon. It's almost like this kind of this conversation, all these articles. It's almost like it was coordinated in some way. Like
They
this
just
is
keep
I-
their upload.
I've
Well-
never heard of the media coordinating together. Come
no,
on.
it never happens.
Never,
They-
ever.
They got their
Nothing
firmware
worked.
update.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
So
irritates me to no end because there's nothing in the movie that is politicized whatsoever. You don't know
Nope.
anybody's politics in this.
no, again though, I mean, what the common denominator is that the right wing conservatism, libertarianism, however you want to look at, actually wants to protect children, whereas the left, which all these are all left wing news media, doesn't care about kids, and they want to make everyone believe that there is no sex trafficking. Raster, you kind of started down the hill a little bit on Saturday when we brought this topic up. Why don't you go ahead and start off there again?
Well, one of the things that people like severely downplay in all this is that when you think of human trafficking, you think about somebody being shoved underneath the floorboard of a old Chevy Astro van and everything, or illegal immigration, which that's part of it too. I mean, it's all part and parcel, or a pimp with a bunch of drugged out girls or whatever. That's not the case either. But one of the things that's I'm not going to go into too much detail on my former background or whatever. A lot of y'all know, but I'm not going to go into too much, not to out myself too much about who I am. But I can say that it is enough of a problem that you're probably going to be very. It's probably going to be very hard to find any local law enforcement agency anywhere that doesn't have at least one person in there working human trafficking. I'd be really surprised, or at least have a ICAC designee or whatever to. And ICAC is, in case people don't know, is Internet Crimes Against Children. They track stuff like this is kind of like this is the only positive thing I can see that came out of the Patriot Act
and the FBI.
Yeah. Well, no, that's Homeland Security. It's actually Homeland Security. FBI doesn't touch it. FBI ends up acting on it, but they're not the ones who run it.
Oh well, no, I know they're not the ones that run it.
Three-letter agency insert here.
Yeah. The thing is that with the ICAC stuff is that to go down a little bit of rabbit hole, and a lot of y'all probably already seen me talk about this and off screen or whatever, but the whole thing with I think another thing I was seeing a piece now where they're trying to attack Jim Caviezel, I think that's how you say his name, about him. Yeah. Basically doing what all actors do. They do research on it, and they're reading into, oh, he's looking at child porn. I said no. That hit piece right there, that thing really drove me up the wall, because it's something that I would not ask for a regular person to, like, hey, you have to experience this. No. But his job was to convey to have an understanding of what the person he was playing and what he went through. Mm-hmm. And he was doing basically the basic amount of work that you would ask of an actor to do. And it just goes to show now how much the actual character Ballard actually had to go through, and it was only a scratch the surface, only tip of the iceberg of all the shit that he went through. And if it messes up Jim or whatever, just to look at that, just a basically take an actor to a work today or whatever, something like that. But he basically sat in with an ICAC officer from what he described. What I mean by this is that he described it wasn't well articulated when he said it, but when he was talking about it, I knew what he was talking about. I knew that he was talking about that he was probably he probably did basically a ride along, if you want to call it a ride along, but it's with the actual detective that worked ICAC cases. And that when you think about like CP, child porn type stuff, whatever, you learn real quickly now that it's a very frustrating and really sickening thing to work with, because there is a high chain of custody, more so than it is with drugs.
Absolutely. And
we're talking about, like, it'll look like the opening scene to, like, oh God, what is that movie or whatever? Anyway, it's very everything's under lock and key. But going back to what the ICAC stuff is, ICAC is basically Internet Crimes Against Children. The thing that came out of, like, Homeland Security. I think it was mostly developed under the Patriot Act or whatever. But ISPs can flag suspicious downloads, uploads, or whatever. Like, I think it kind of streamed from like torrents and stuff like that back in the day. With
BitTorrents. Your internet service provider can actually flag BitTorrents. And so this is where you get into the days of like LimeWire and stuff like that. Free exchange of information. LimeWire and programs like that, and like BearShare were some of the original biggest sources of child internet pornography being shared around the internet, because it started out because the internet was so free back then, which you could say, okay, well, maybe the internet should be free and stuff like that. Well, there are limitations to it, because unfortunately, you have all these one user uploads a photo, and then of course there's other users that, like, I'm going to download this, and it's like it becomes a web of it becomes like a spider web of a photo or a video being shared across the internet, and you have to try to track it to the original source, because obviously there are people who are going to download it. They might think it's one thing, it's labeled one thing, but it's something else. And then of course you want to try to find the original person who posted it, because they're the ones who actually perpetuated the child pornography. It's
right. And And part of this process is that part of this ICAC program is that they would flag ISPs, I mean flag IP addresses, meaning that just like the particular case you're talking about and everything, there are accidental downloads, and most likely they're not going to, even if you have one that's like ill intentioned or whatever, and he was like, you know, a pedophile out there that's kind of like what I call the closet pedophile, meaning that he doesn't act on it. But when I start seeing people now, they defend this or whatever online, like Vito, hey Vito, they say all the signs of someone that I call a closet pedophile, meaning that they're always the one that quickly and most passionately come to the defense of any excuse and everything, or give leeway to, like, making children vulnerable or exploitation of them. But what I mean is that some people might test the water, so they might only get one image. Those people are not going to be the ones that get arrested or gigged on anything. It's going to be the ones that's doing like massive gigabytes worth of uploads going from one location to another. And when they start realizing that two IP addresses are exchanging information or bouncing around a network or whatever, they get flagged. And then the Homeland Security leaves it up to the ICAC liaison to look into it. So they'll use that to get probable cause for a search warrant. And then they start cracking open doors. And then because the way electronic devices are these days, and they're so small and all that kind of stuff, basically you can gut a house from top to bottom, because a flash drive can be stored anywhere. And they will store it on just about anything. And once all that equipment is brought in, they'll now take it back to a little locked room now, and it has a mag lock on it. And only certain people can be in that room. And there's a constant log of who goes in that room. So Jim probably was one of those that was actually allowed to go in the room to actually see what they did. And they uploaded the stuff to a specialized computer inside there, a master computer, and it has a forensic software on it that's cleared and everything, that all the courts agreed, and it says, hey, when you clone this hard drive, it is forensically sound to go through it now. I mean, it is an exact duplicate copy, and it is completely admissible in court. And then they take the actual computer that they cloned everything from and lock it up in another vault inside evidence room, and it doesn't get touched.
Nope.
Then they have basically a rudimentary AI software that goes through it and tags now this has probably changed in the last few years. I haven't seen it in over 4 years, but it actually combs through the image files, or what could be an image file, and actually does like a ratio of like skin tones to see if it's actually above like a certain percentage. And it has a algorithm in it that says this is most likely is a nude image. It's kind of what early Facebook and Instagram probably uses to keep as much nudity or to flag nudity without having human eyes on it. But it drafts, basically think of a massive log of spreadsheets, and then some unfortunate soul, which will be most likely the ICAC liaison, is going to have to go through and set eyes on it and say, yes, this is this. Because some of them actually might be adults.
Yep.
And he'll say, oh, no, that's an adult. That's not CP. That's just porn. That's not illegal. And then it could be like there's stuff on there, and this is what's going to really piss off the general population, is that you won't believe how tight the law is on what's considered CP. And just because the average person be looking at it probably say that's CP, but it's not.
Real quick, and I hate to cut you off like this. We're going to keep on this conversation, but I do want to highlight this. Mike shows up and says, why do Republican policies suck for anybody not super rich, and why do they look to improve on why don't they look to improve on their stance? Honest question. They wonder why they're having hard times winning elections. Ha ha ha. Well, we're not talking about policies. We're not talking about tax, but we could talk about how you're tax rates, you're paying more now than you were under Trump. But we're not talking about that. Why don't we talk about the subject that we're talking about now? Why is it that us on the right, Republicans and conservatives, want to protect children while your left-wing media says stuff like this and trying to claim that child sex trafficking is not happening? How about that? That's the conversation we're having right now, Mike. But thank you very much for popping in, and I appreciate you helping out the algorithm by showing up and dropping a comment. Thank you.
Also,
Let's move on.
Also at the same time, so you can get a micro SD card that is like 520 gigabytes to up to a terabyte. That is the size of
your fingernail.
Of my fingernail on my pinky. That you can hide anywhere. Do you know how hard that thing is to fucking find? Do you know how many photos, videos you can post on a 520 gigabyte micro SD card? The sky is the limit.
Oh, drywall guys love ICAC officers.
I'm sure they do. just for the record, Fortnite. If you download Fortnite, that game is 33 gigabytes. 33 gigabytes. Not 520, 33. So you're talking about literally about 6.5 Fortnite video games on a micro SD card full of child pornography the size of my pinky.
Yeah,
it's
I mean, a house will get ripped apart, but I mean, you know what? I don't feel sorry for how basically condemning a pedophile's house. But anyway, the thing about all this is that everybody says, oh, the FBI, the Homeland Security and everything. The guy Jim now actually went above and beyond of what his Call of Duty on it and everything, and he did a great job. And he's what I wish more federal officers were like. However, he's more of a exception than a rule, because in my experience and everything with knowing how these guys work, is that local law enforcement would do probably about 95% of the work to build the case, do all the dirty work, go through all that stuff. They have to look through all that stuff and then flag it. And then some other federal officer come in there and say, okay, we'll go ahead and press charges and take this federal. And, they'll take it the rest of the way for the 5% or whatever, but reap all the benefits of the grant of all the funding. But, the thing that really irritates me about all this is that is very much downplayed in the media, and the reason why is because the difference from drugs and human trafficking is that think about who the beneficiaries are with drugs and look at who the beneficiaries of human trafficking is. Most of your beneficiaries with human trafficking is not your poor people. However, with drugs and everything, your so-called beneficiaries or whatever you want to call it that or most people in the poverty, such as like, how crack went down in LA or whatever back in the 70s. I mean, they're two different systems designed for different people. And your rich elites are the ones that run all these outlets and stuff like that. And of course they wanted to hide it now. And that's how they get their nut. There's little perverts. So I mean, it's also another thing is also about workforce, because a lot of people think about most of the sex trade, but with human trafficking, you also have people with labor. And this is where everybody's like, oh, these people are refugees coming across the southern border. Incorrect. Most of them people are trafficked or given a false promise or whatever. And they might not even get a coyote. Some of them they'll walk over themselves. They'll go through all the trouble of doing it all themselves. They get here under the promise to work for someone, almost like an indentured servitude.
Yeah. Think about when they put out the notice and changed the policy and said that if children who are accompanied with adults will be allowed into America. Well, guess what? That was just an open invitation to child trafficking.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. And with labor trafficking, I mean, I've actually seen instances like this, and keep an eye. And this is what I was talking about earlier with like little details with like people just kind of like don't think of anything. And it was like, have you ever seen like a restaurant that has a barbed wire fence around it?
I think that's in San Francisco now.
Okay, well, think about the back lot of like, you know, where they keep their freezers and, you know, where their dumpsters and everything at. They might have like barbed wire. Look at the top of the barbed wire on the top and see if because you know how it has like this the top part of it, the top part of the rails. I mean, not the rails, but the poles actually have like a thing that bends outward. Normally they bend outward or inward,
so
whatever.
you're talking about what to indicate whether they're trying to keep people in or out.
Right. And that was like things that people like started looking for or whatever, is like, because a lot of these people and everything, and a lot of these restaurants would actually, because I actually remember the agent actually with Homeland Security, they would actually they kind of blew their cover. They would go to this restaurant like for lunch or whatever to act like they were like, you know.
So wait, are you saying this restaurant had a barbed wire fence that that it was angled inward?
Yeah.
It's basically to keep people from leaving.
Yeah, yes. Like when they go out, because they allow them to smoke and everything, so they go out for smoke breaks and stuff like that and everything. They can't just run off in the back. However, in the front guy and everything was basically, you know, like acting as the host or whatever. You know, give you a menu, sit you down at a table, whatever, where everybody else works in the back. And basically, his job was make sure they don't run out the front door. But they had a girl that they would come by, and they kept trying. They was trying to basically work her in like basically a good way, meaning that they was trying to get her to turn on the owner or whatever, or the host or whatever, so that she could, you know, get free or whatever. Well, the host realized these guys are coming in, and, you know, most law enforcement officers too stupid to realize that they're actually look like law enforcement officers. Even in plain clothes. They read Fed all over them. And so basically they all look like Ryan Kendall when they walk in. You know, wearing, you know, 5'11" pants and shit, but that's probably how they were dressed.
They look like the feds in the Patriot Front.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So they walk in and they realize that they kept on, you know, wanting to get this waitress or whatever. And that after about like a week of coming in, that girl was no longer there. They moved her to another location.
Damn.
And they like to move them on church buses, stuff like that.
Yeah, they'll move them by any means necessary, and they'll hide them by any means necessary. Also, at the same time, with the southern border, so we have about 350,000 people crossing the border each month. About approximately 87,000 of those are children, and about 8,000 to 9,000 children go missing at the border every month. That is 8,000 to 9,000 children that are actually coming into the United States and just vanishing without a trace. So it's not just about securing the southern border. It's about actually protecting these children that are coming through that are undocumented. And I mean undocumented as you're not verifying who's their parents, who they're coming through the border with, and then all of a sudden they disappear because like the normal Joe on the street is going to be surfing the internet for the weird stuff, right? That's where he's going to be getting his fix. He might prey on a neighbor kid or something like that, or like a nephew or a niece. But no, like if you want like your fix, you're going to have serious dollars, and you're going to go somewhere else where you're going to be paying for excuse me, that is most likely outside of the United States, because you do not want to get caught in that situation. I.e., look at Mr. Certain Somebody's Island, or, you know, you go to South America or Mexico and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's definitely a big problem, and I mean, the vehicle in which the left brings in a lot of stuff is under the guise of mercy and empathy, but to realize that unregulated, you know, illegal entry into the United States and everything comes with other risk as well. It's those people that are coming in, they don't have any form of, like, you know, American ID. They have nothing to process. The only way to indicate who they really are is to run their fingerprints through Interpol and hope that the country of origin actually, you know, has something of them on file. And that's how they're.
Yeah, and here's sorry to interrupt you. Yeah, here's something that's absolutely amazing. I think it was under the Trump administration when they started doing DNA testing to prove that these were actually these people's children. And now, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the Biden administration wants to eliminate DNA testing on the border. Why would they want to do that? Why would they?
That's
what purpose?
That's exactly what I'm talking about. This is they keep on making policies that enable human trafficking. The only other thing I can think of is that they want it to happen. I mean, there's no other reason. I mean, really, everything. Everybody thinks that they're gonna come in and have a great life. Well, there's two parts of that. The ones who come in, they're not going to end up in the human trafficking. Guess what? They're now living in a foreign land without any kind of credentials to their name. They're going to come in, they try to get a vehicle, to try to do everything. Everything has to be falsified. Everything has to be done a certain way. And when that happens, that basically enables a case in point. If they get a DWI, all right, they hit a car. They was like, well, I guess I'll just change my name or go by a different name by then or something like that, or move over to another trailer. I mean, this stuff happens all the daggum time and everything, and it's aggravating because to try to serve a warrant on somebody that's an illegal alien is basically a moot point.
Yep. Because
there's no way to verify them.
Yep. Literally, because it's considered racist now and discriminatory for government agents to try to identify these people. So
I mean, is that actually the accusation? Because I haven't heard what their actual reasoning is to remove the DNA testing. Are they actually trying to claim that this is racist in some way?
Everything to this point in day and age is racist, sexist, homophobic. It's all discrimination. That's the basis of what they're doing, because you're denying these people who they're dreamers. I'm sorry, but I don't think that the 12-year-old little girl who got pawned off by her mother, thinking that this nice man paying whatever she could for her daughter to go to America and have a better life, to live with her aunt and uncle. Guess what? Little girl is not going to end up with her aunt and uncle. She's going to end up being trafficked and being used. And quite frankly, that the individual is going to pocket it. And, that's the way it is. You're not allowed to verify these children. You're not allowed to, and if a child is left behind, then it's the U.S. government's job to try to find, who this child belongs to. And half the time, you can't figure out where these children are coming from or where they're going. And that's the sad state of our country.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is about cutting off supply to these traffickers, and they're doing everything to basically enable them. And I can only assume that they're doing it to help them. So, I mean, there's no other assumption I can make.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. This really is every single thing that we're seeing is just showing that they are enabling and trying to grow the child sex trafficking rather than do anything to stop it. I mean, trying to convince people. I only saw one person who was at least semi honest when he was on CNN, MSNBC, one of these stupid fucking channels, and he was on there talking about the sound of freedom and attacking it as being a QAnon conspiracy. And then at least he had a moment of realty when he popped in and said, not to claim that there isn't some sort of pedophilia or sex slavery out there, but it's not in these great numbers or some shit like that. It's like,
it's in massive numbers.
Why even try to make that? I'll tell you what. We can make all kinds of arguments. I was trying to recall in my head. I had one of these arguments in my head earlier. I was thinking about where it's as an example when talking about wearing masks or anything else like this. When we're talking about the coof, people want to say, look at the statistics that we can prove that wearing masks is going to work. Well, you don't actually have any statistics. There's nothing out there. There's nothing. You're just going off of word of mouth by these officials who are telling you this on your screens. Whereas we actually have real numbers. We have accounts. We actually have real evidence that there are sex trafficking rings out there and it needs to stop. And yet here you are trying to make an argument that it's just a conspiracy theory. No, we have actual fucking facts that this shit is fucking happening. Why would your stupid fucking ass want to argue and try to defend them in any single fucking way whatsoever, that children are being fucking raped 40 times a fucking day for years? Because how can you defend that?
The thing is that at the end of the day, it's like everybody's talking about like, well, we need to talk things out and all this kind of stuff, and we need to have peaceful discourse. And I'm sorry, if you're a leftist, you're my enemy. I don't see you as a fellow countryman. I just don't anymore, because and everybody's like, well, that's really sad. That's very, nihilistic of you. And I'm like, no, I'm kind of tired of it, because at this point you have made every excuse in the book and everything to enable these sick fucks. And for, you might have some kind of virtuous talking point or whatever that you like to talk about, or as our other person that came in the chat and everything with whataboutisms, like, what about Republicans and yada yada yada. And I'm like, well, you know what, I don't like Republicans either, but you know what, I'm going to vote for at least 90 someone that might get me a little closer to my end goals, which would be, for small government, and, might actually give a fuck and everything about like these type of issues. So you can, go to, go
also
fuck yourself about that.
Also, at the same time, the reason that they don't want to acknowledge these statistics and stuff like that, and they downplay them, is because the stats that we actually do have, they're actually on the low side. They're actually not. They're very much on the low side. They're very reserved. It is, I guarantee, it is drastically higher than the estimates that we do have. The child sex trafficking industry, yes, it is an industry now, is massively rising, and it is not even being matched by arms deals and drugs. Like, it used to be like arms dealers and stuff like that, like, were the number one. Then of course it was drugs, and now like child sex trafficking is literally the top on the docket.
Here's something I want the people to think about this for a minute. Think about how much money we have sent to the Ukraine.
Oh.
All right. Now I want you to think about this for a second, that we're taking in people under the guise of being refugees,
refugees,
from our southern border. Now tell me for 1 minute, we have invaded countries and everything on, like, on false notions or whatever. So within my lifetime, I mean, I think most of us have served under those offensives. I mean, so tell me why, if this really anything really that bad going on in the country, and I'm going to discount that it is. How about you just, I mean, if you want a war so fucking bad, how about you start one there that's right there, right below us? Go ahead and finally just chomp at the bit and just say, you know what, Mexico, you done fucked up. You know what, all the way down to Venezuela. If you really want to just go scorch earth on them motherfuckers and just go ahead and take care of business and everything, because if it's such a humanitarian crisis or whatever, then go over there and actually do something about it. Not somewhere halfway across the world. If I'm not calling for either one of them. I say let nations do their own thing or whatever, and us go back into more of a fend for ourselves type of situation or whatever, because we got to take care of our own before we take care of anybody else. But if you're going to pick and choose or whatever, it makes no fucking sense to me now than to send billions of dollars to the Ukraine, but you won't do a damn thing and everything about what's going on at the southern border. And I mean, I'm not talking about building a wall. I'm talking about actually handle the humanitarian crisis and everything. The reason that these so-called refugees are coming over here for. What are they running away from?
It's the same reason that we bailed on Afghanistan the way that we did. Guess what? How many little teenagers and children, girls, did we leave to be sex puppets for the Taliban? Literally.
And our government's fine with that.
Yeah, our government was fine with that. So what the how the fuck are we not surprised at the fact that these ass clowns, the same people who pulled out of Afghanistan and stuff like that, they left. There were photos of women, 28-year-old women, handing their children to soldiers over the fucking wall.
Yeah.
Their babies
Yeah.
over the fucking wall because we left about 14 million women under the age of 20 to become slaves, sex slaves. Congratulations. We did it again.
Yay. I was gonna play the applause audio, but it's no, it doesn't deserve that. Yay.
No,
I'm going to share this real quick. So, just to one more thing to compound, there is so many avenues that you can look up. You know, I don't think anybody who's listening here actually has any belief in this in the mainstream media and what they're saying that this is a conspiracy theory or anything like that. But you can get firsthand accounts from plenty of people. This is one of the locations where I got. So me and Ryan were even talking about this because I went to training at Executive Security International where some of the instructors were part of the Child Rescue Initiative. These people are all volunteers. They didn't get paid anything. This organization is based solely on donations. And I know that the movie, apparently they push another organization. It's just amazing. There are multiple organizations out there, but these people who are all veterans in one way, shape, or form, all train, and they have a massive big organization that involves intelligence gathering, mission coordination, and then physically going to these locations to save these children. And they, in the class, and I think I might have talked about this. They showed us their promotional video, and it's fucking heart wrenching. It is gut wrenching, and it kills your fucking heart to see this shit. You know, these are some of the children here that they've rescued. This is real. This is absolutely real. They've gone in and they've busted these organizations where one of the worst things I heard is the instructor gave me an account about how they busted in and they took these children. They don't have any law enforcement assisting them, so it's not like in the movie where they had the local law enforcement able to arrest these people. All these guys can do is they go in and they forcibly take the children away, and then the people are still left behind. So one of the sickest things that was mentioned in the telling of the story is that the guy simply said, "Go ahead, take them. I'll just have more tomorrow."
Yep.
So, yeah, but I was talking to them, and I actually was in the process of possibly volunteering, and you have to go through a process where they do a psychoanalysis basically on if you can handle the kind of thing. And I basically came to my own decision. I wouldn't be able to handle it. I wouldn't. You know, they talked about how people that when these guys get done these operations, they have to go through weeks of mentally stabilizing themselves after seeing the horrific kind of crap that they had to see. And I knew that there's no way I could have gone through it. For the same reason, I haven't seen the movie yet, and there's a very good chance I might not see it because I don't think I can put up with this kind of stuff. It's too disgusting. It's too real. And real quick, yeah, I'll let you chime in, but I'm dropping a link right now to this website for anybody out there. You know, even if you thought about even want to drop a super chat here, don't drop a super chat. Donate to these guys, man. Give these guys some support and some love. Share that link out there as many ways as you can. These are amazing people. They make no money off of this. It is simply to save children.
I feel like this is a legitimate question, real quick, and not some, you know, Kizzy, I don't think is being facetious. How do you know it's real and not just a money funnel? I completely understand that because there are many charities out there that masquerade as you know, there are many places that masquerade as charities that are not. So Adam, if you'd like to,
I can say for these guys, I met the people who are doing this. Like I said, it's not even a big group. I said massive operation. Really, it's only like, if I had to guess, I think about a dozen of them. The two instructors who were there, one of them, they're both the main founders. The husband, who's former Army Sergeant Major, and the wife runs the intelligence operation, and they would even show some background on how they're running everything. And then and then they showed videos on how they're doing training and everything, and the sergeant major who ran the operations. And really, there's like I said, there's a selection process that you'd have to go through just to make sure that you're even psychologically capable of handling what you're going to see. And then so I mean, basically what I'm trying to get at is I'm trying to describe how in detail that what was described to us and how everything works, that really there's no doubt in my mind that this is a 100% legitimate organization. It is a small operation, and they just managed to pull off what they do because of the massive amount of skills and coordination that they have. It's not a big money scheme by any way, shape, or form, and these are all just amazingly good-hearted people who go through these things. They showed us plenty of videos of stuff that they've done, all the kids, and the process also about the location where the kids get brought to afterwards, so they can have a safe location for them to be able to grow up and be children and try to recover from the atrocities that they went through. So yeah.
Go ahead, Gal. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, for the one that Tim Ballard kind of like founded, it's Operation Underground Railroad. Gary Nerdrotic, he talked about it with I think it was when he was on stream with Eric recently.
Mm-hmm.
Eric July.
I believe it was yesterday, right?
Yeah. And I don't know how to do the research, but when Gary brought it up, he actually mentioned that I think he said that he looked them up like years back and has like donated to them in the past and looked into it, and they're a legitimate operation too. I mean, Glenn Beck works with them. And I think I heard a rumor that he technically had something in like a cameo in the movie, but they took it out. Like, he works with them closely. I mean, take that as you will. I don't know how to do the research on that type of stuff, so I don't want to push too much on anything. But I trust what Gary says. He's a pretty smart man.
Yeah.
Well, I want to say this. Kizzy says, thank you. That definitely could have been taken the wrong way. It's a genuine question. Kizzy, look, we understand that you're asking a legit question. Yeah, I understand the context. There's a difference between what you asked and what this was. This was not genuine. This was gaslighting, and this was a horrendous take just to be a dick. So
it was a whataboutism.
Yeah, it was a whataboutism. So Kizzy, no, we appreciate you asking, and I have to be honest. One of the reasons that I always wanted, my background in law enforcement is because I wanted to help people, and that included children, especially children, those who could not defend themselves. And yeah, it's seeing people, especially women and children at their lowest moments. I mean, yes, men have are victimized by many things, but those that are much more helpless, and I mean children, because they are the most helpless, is the worst to try to deal with by far. And it's something that you have to have a stomach for, and you never get used to it. You don't ever get used to seeing people being victimized and being treated like it horrendously. Yeah. And children are the worst ones. So no, I have watched. Go ahead, Chill.
I was gonna say, it's like the guy in the movie, his partner, right? And you see this on the trailer, when he's like, how many pedophiles have we caught? Have you caught? 288. And it's like, how many kids? That guy right there, they and I'm not spoiling it by saying this, but there's a little few minutes there where he's looking through this book, mm-hmm. right? And damn, the director, either the actor, the director, or both are freaking excellent, because the emotion that he conveys, when they have a close up of his face, right, and is exactly what we're talking about here. Just the look on his face, like of horror, the look of horror on his face as he's looking through this book, of these kids, and it's just, yeah, it's freaking.
Yeah, real quick, I want to highlight a couple things that Blue Cord popped in. He said, once my 15 years fire department service came upon this, and I'm assuming he saw something terrible in one of these houses, the sheriffs had to keep us firefighters from destroying him. I can't even imagine.
Trust me, the sheriffs wanted to destroy that too.
Yeah,
they want them to go run out into the woods. That's one of them things where you, like, if you're in a sheriff's office and one of these pedophiles and everything decides to run, they want him to run into the woods.
Please, please give us that chance to do what we really want to do. Too.
I had an FTO tell me that the hardest case that he's ever done was based on children, because he's like, I wanted to strangle that man with my own two hands, and I could not do it, or he would walk free.
The hardest part is sitting across the table for one and trying to, and doing, you part of the, the interview and interrogation tactics and everything is trying to empathize with them and stuff like that. And the shit that you have to say and everything to basically make them feel comfortable. Be like, hey, it wasn't so bad or whatever. And you're like, you really will, like, I can't believe these words came out of my mouth and everything just to get what I need out of you. But after that, you just want to, like, go wash your mouth out with, like, some mouthwash and everything, and then, throw them into the wood chipper.
That's why.
And Adam, I know, Adam, you said that you have, reservations about actually going to see it, but dude, you should. You need to.
I want to, and I was going to the other day, and it was surprising because I wanted to go on a Tuesday. It was going to be a slow day, but the theater was fucking packed. I was able to see on my app, all the seats were filled up, and I posted it on Twitter. That's just an amazing thing to show. Like, look, this is on a fucking Tuesday in a small town. Lake of the Ozarks during the weekdays is not a busy place. You never see these kind of places packed like that. It was amazing to see that theater filled up. But it did give me an excuse afterwards because I'm like, I was really on the fence. But yeah.
Jim Caviezel, his performance in
incredible.
This is a very hard movie to watch, and he deserves an Oscar that he'll never get.
Which he obviously won't get. But yeah.
It's so engaging. And I just talking about it now and remembering certain scenes where he's sitting across or next to this piece of shit and the shit that he has to do to make the guy feel comfortable. It's very hard to explain.
I think the worst part, in my opinion, is when he had to pour champagne in a certain person's glass.
I'm sure. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that one's bothers.
See, that's why I don't think I can see this, man. I like even thinking about this shit.
And the movie, like, it starts right into it.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Like, the first 10 minutes apparently is the worst.
And it's not even.
Oh, it shows you
that I want to hurt the most.
The recruiter?
Yeah. And there's no. Sorry, I'm getting worked up.
Don't apologize. This is fucking knife hands. You need to go off here. That's the point of it.
So within the first 10 minutes, they show you a bunch of CCTV footage. That is real footage. This is how it happens. It's easily available to see on real world scenarios on Twitter. And then of course it shows you, just say the story of tracking down and the setting up to trap these people doing so, the ones that are perpetuating it, because the heads are always going to traffic the children to the highest donors in the highest amounts possible. And so that's where kind of the large raid comes into place, which was on the news. So that's not breaking news or anything like that. It's not spoilers, but it is very incredible to watch. But This is something that happens throughout the whole entire planet. It doesn't matter if it's China or Russia, the United States, Brazil, Colombia, Australia. I mean, we're talking about all over the world. You can find these people because there is a profit for that, and it is an extremely high profit because you can traffic a child 5 to 6 times a day, and you can do it until about the age of 16. Because about after the age of considered 15, they're no longer considered viable. They no longer they're too old. They're too close to becoming an adult for.
They don't look like kids anymore.
No, for the sickos.
Then they just become regular human trafficked.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They probably you're right. They probably get sent to like regular prostitution instead,
which is still a huge problem because they're still victims of trafficking. But
real quick, I want to answer Kizzy's question. What do you think happens to kids afterwards? So I went back to the website and they have the FAQ here. So this is at least what the Child Rescue Initiative does. Couldn't remember their exact explanation. So here's their answer. There is due to laws and regulations, we cannot adopt children out of countries where we are working because it is against their policies. In fact, one country stopped allowing adoptions altogether because the traffickers were using the system. Therefore, once children are rescued, we place them with host families who provide a loving environment for the children to flourish. We are currently restructuring our survivor care program, which you can learn more about here. I do remember they were telling us about how there was one country that they did a lot of operations in. And apparently there was a home of I can't remember how exactly they described it, but essentially it was like a foster home. Not like a foster home, but what are the places before a kid gets adopted? Where do they put them? Like where all the kids live together in this big place?
Like
what am I thinking
house? Or
like a group home?
Where Annie stayed. Anyways, essentially it's like a big home where they had a bunch of these kids. They would bring these kids in, largely. So, but I guess they would
orphanage.
An orphanage. Thank you. Yes, it was essentially like an orphanage. Essentially like that, but obviously not.
I was in the bathroom and I was like, "Is this motherfucker trying to say orphanage?"
Yes, I was trying to say orphanage.
Before they're adopted, as if they were taken away from the orphanage
and you said halfway home. What the fuck?
Well,
a halfway
orphanage is just where orphans live.
I mean, I guess it would be like a halfway home. They're in prison for so long, so it's like a halfway home essentially. But yeah, so at least they were able to. So in whatever cases they find homes to send them to. But yeah, the adoption rules in other countries are extremely stupid. And Dermy, I'm not even gonna pull your comment up, but I appreciate the $2. Not good conversation to be joking like that, dude. Thanks for being here, though.
If he just dropped in, he might not have known.
Yeah, so yes. I'm going to
conversation here.
I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. He probably just dropped in and said, for $2, and he's like, "Hey, you guys are live, but you're late." Of course,
yes.
So
I'm still the rules still apply. So any single super chat and I'll social I drink to you. I appreciate the $2, Jeremy.
Yeah, I
shut the fuck up, you little fat fuck.
He's like, I did just.
You're welcome, Jeremy.
Yeah, I figured he did too. I saw that right before I.
Motherfucker ain't jumping. His feet never left the ground.
So,
read the title of the video.
Yeah, no shit, dude.
Jeremy. God.
Well, in all honesty, when I see my friends are live, I don't always read the title. Most of the time.
Yeah, that's fair.
But if you're called out for a super chat, one would think maybe you'll find the reference somewhere.
Yeah, no. Usually, I have to catch the replays, so that helps. But the problem is with all of this is that these organizations and stuff like that, if they don't work with local law enforcement, we can't read green. Stop being ableist.
I was just gonna reply, my bad, dude.
Okay, well, considering the fact that I'm red-green colorblind and I can read green and red individually but not combined together, there's no excuse.
Oh, sorry.
Well, I didn't do that.
No, I was trying to turn my
fix his
camera
camera.
off because I gotta fucking refocus this stupid thing again.
I
Push the wrong
don't
button.
I don't understand your camera because I have a Logitech HD 1080p camera and look.
I like I said, me and ETEP have the exact same camera and both they do the exact same thing. It will not focus. I don't even know what I did to make it do that again. It's crap. It's crap. I got a new one coming.
I agree with Dermy. He is retarded.
He is retarded, but he's not a bad guy. He just didn't know.
We're just
Shut the fuck up. Yeah, he is a bad dude. He's
Are
horrible.
you channeling him because you've drank so much? You're nice. Like, what is going on?
Wait, me?
Yes, you.
No, he hasn't called anybody a little girl.
No, I'm not drunk enough. I haven't called. The first
being a little too nice to do.
The first time that I got really intoxicated around these guys, I called Rastra a little girl.
You also started ripping into one of our fucking fans. Who was just joking around. He started just yelling at the dude out of nowhere.
Some motherfucker just walks into a room and says, "You little girl," and I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah, don't say that on Twitter though. I called somebody a little girl on Twitter, and I got put in Twitter jail for a while.
Oh, jeez. That before or after Musk?
Before. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Some dude was. All I said was, "There she is," and the guy reported me. Yeah.
I think I told us that I'm on a dating app where people can just reply even if you don't connect, and on there it's I had a thing on there. It's like the question is the question was what is something that we should absolutely agree on? And I said pronouns. My pronouns are thee, she, and it. And this fucking person just replies, douchebag. I should report you. That's not one of my pronouns. You just misgendered me.
I would have said that my pronouns are I, don't, and care.
Yeah.
Use common sense.
Yeah, that would be use common sense.
So I wanted to pull this up. Well, it's absolutely shocking. I showed earlier one of those articles I pulled up was CBS. What was it? What were we looking at that showed CBS?
You mean ABC?
No. CBS is shockingly okay. I can't remember what we looked at earlier, but here is I found this tweet. Now, for one, the tweet is the same members of media trashing Sound of Freedom as a QAnon film were big fans of Tim Ballard's work 10 years ago. This is a video that was put out by CBS covering everything that they did. Here's what I'm saying is that I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt because I did some research because I wanted to call them out for the hypocrisy. They are the only mainstream media that has not bashed them. In fact, they have an article out there that says they did an interview with the creator of the movie, and it was not a bad article at all. So CBS, at the very least, is actually doing some good journalism and not trying to.
Adam.
Yes. What?
I got Adam. I got 2 words for you. Dark mode. Okay, come on, man.
I'm not trying to praise CBS. I'm just saying I'm shocked that they're the only ones that's not bashing.
No, I'm talking about
the
Twitter thing.
Yeah,
Dark
psychopath.
I did turn it on earlier.
Did you? Did you?
Yeah, I did. You know what? I did. I did on. I think I did over on another one, but it's just not crossing over.
Are you sure you're not one of the Secret Service people working on the White House? I don't know.
Can we actually talk about serious topic instead of whether I have fucking white or black on my fucking Twitter?
Well, we should probably shake it up a little.
Look, now it's all black. You happy now?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Representation.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for interrupting to talk about black mode. I appreciate it. Thank you. It's so fucking important.
Wow.
I tend to call it dark mode, but
Dark mode, whatever.
Call it
So anyways,
Black
this is the arc that 10 years ago that the mainstream media put out, which then 10 years later they say this is all a conspiracy theory. So check this out.
Operation Underground Railroad, a nonprofit group that rescues trafficked kids. After that first meeting, the Colombians asked him to put together a sting.
No men will be in here, only women.
Operation Underground Railroad spent months planning, renting this house, rigging it with hidden cameras to document the crime, coordinating with Colombian authorities, and negotiating with the traffickers.
How they find these kids is they lure them in by pretending to have a modeling agency. They target them at 9 or 10 years old. And they were telling us that about by 11, they're ready for sex. They're ready to be sold.
What is that like, looking into that kind of person's eyes?
It's horrifying, and this is why. Because I've got a smile in the face of evil. This is the table where we're going to do the negotiation.
Less than 24 hours after the operatives landed, the suspected traffickers arrived on the island, and the final deal with the undercover team began. 54 boys and girls aged 11 to 18 were ushered in for what had been billed as a sex party. They were given candy and drinks and told to wait in this small room.
This little 11-year-old boy, I remember, he asked one of my operatives if they could give him some cocaine or something. He said, they usually give me something because I'm really scared.
By the time the deal was done, the alleged traffickers were set to make $25,000. That transaction was never completed. 25 Colombian special operatives stormed the party, arresting 5 suspects, 4 men and 1 former beauty queen, all charged with child trafficking. The victims, 29 of whom are under 18, were evacuated, given medical exams, and placed in a rehabilitation center where specialists are working to undo the damage.
Right before I got in the boat, we had to walk by this room where the kids were, and they put their hand up. And I touched their hand and see that there's liberation now.
Liberating one child at a time. Elaine Quijano, CBS News, New York.
So, yeah. That's real.
That's real.
That's real shit right there.
That's what the movie is based off right there.
That event. And 10 years ago, it was covered by CBS. That report was put out 10 years ago by CBS, and 10 years later, now it's a QAnon conspiracy theory. It's not happening.
And
that's some of that footage that Ryan was talking about too. That's in the movie.
And the former beauty queen is the one that recruited the children. A female, a woman, recruiting
basically a Maxwell. Elaine Maxwell.
Yeah.
Yep. Which in my opinion makes her the worst, because she knows exactly what she's doing, and she smiles and said, "Coif your hair and pose like this," and it's like
just Adam. I don't want to relive it.
Dude, I mean, I want to encourage everybody to watch it. I do. Everyone should watch it. I think I fall into a category of people who would love to see it, but definitely not love to see it, but I don't know if I can do it.
I think you would have a bigger regret if you don't. Honestly.
You know what? I'll tell you what. We'll come down to the Lake of Ozarks, and I will go ahead and buy your ticket, usher you in there, and while you're in there, I'll try to find the most Pee Wee Herman looking motherfucker and everything to be standing outside the front door when you come out, so you have something to take it out on. Like, look at that.
Pee Wee Herman doesn't deserve that, man. He was in a fucking legit porn theater where everyone's jerking it. All right, Pee Wee Herman doesn't deserve that.
Well, yeah. Trust me. There's a dweeb kind of I'd say Pee Wee Herman on a 2-month bender looking dude in the movie, and that's the best way to put it. So like,
Oh, he just looked like a fucking weasel, didn't he? Damn.
oh, absolutely.
Oh, you talking about the
did.
dude that looks like an anorexic dummy?
Yeah.
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 I can't take y'all seriously anymore. Just kidding. Oh God.
I'm sorry, but but I think every one of them that comes out, like when it ends up getting arrested or whatever for like that type of shit, I'm like, I'm never surprised. Now there is an exception. You see some dude in there is like a gym bro or whatever, and you're like, that I seen that only once in my lifetime, and I'm like, what, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Are we sure? You didn't mix up you didn't mix up the photos, did you? No, that's him.
Yep.
They always have a look. They usually 99% of the time they have a look.
They definitely have a look. And we screw with Dermy. Of course, when he shaved his beard off, he had the look.
Just pedo mustache.
Yeah, it was just the mustache, just like kind of like hanging out there. It was just like right here.
Also, what he does his hair, he's like the
yeah. We actually had to make a few phone calls and tell him, says no, take him off the sex offender registry. He's not supposed to be on it. He just looks like that.
Yeah, with the glasses too. They always got glasses.
There's no court order. Just take him off.
But that's not Dermy's fault. He's making changes, so he'll do his hair better. He'll get a better beard and get contacts, for the love of God, motherfucker.
The fuck he will.
At least some better glasses.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
these are not pedo glasses.
There you go. That's better.
So, all right. Gal, I don't think I heard you chime in at all, at least on the mainstream media side of this. I appreciate your input on the movie, but I'd love to hear you go off on the mainstream media trying to run cover for pedophile rings. Go off. Do it. Come on, bring the Marine out.
It makes me sick because I never watched Cuties.
God, no.
I refuse to watch that. And I'm sure every single one of those articles that you brought up, the media companies, whatever they're fucking called, has an article that matches the Cutie situation, except the opposite end, where they're defending it, saying that it's not a problem. And my biggest problem with that is this movie doesn't show you any unnecessary information for the disgusting situations that take place with these kids. And my biggest problem with Cuties was you do not need to show them exploiting themselves to get the point across that society is making these little girls want to do these things. That was actually the point of the Cuties movie. And these companies instantly jump on because their overlords are telling them, you all need to stop this movie from being so popular because they're going to find us out.
Yeah.
And I can't stand it because they have zero moral value whatsoever. I said this in my video, this should be apolitical. Religion shouldn't be brought into it at all. It's just a moral set of values, whether you are religious or you're not, whether you come from faith or not. You should have a set of moral values. And these people, they don't. And it's infuriating to me. That's like my favorite word whenever I'm pissed off. It's infuriating because I cannot control my feelings towards people like this, just like that beauty pageant bitch. How dare you bring these children in? And just the way she does it, she's such a predator and she has no remorse whatsoever. And I was hoping isn't the best word for it. I was hoping that like she's just been jaded because of life. She's a fucking beauty queen. And I mentioned this in my video. Again, I don't like dealing in absolutes, but it is a moral obligation for anyone to protect the most vulnerable and innocent out there. And these media companies are literally just protecting these predators.
Mm-hmm.
And they have zero moral grounds.
Well, they're a part of the problem.
Yes.
How many?
And some of these people just that are writing these articles probably think that they're doing something good because they're so fucking brainwashed. Oh my God, the right likes this. We have to do the opposite because TDS. And they don't stop and think.
No, you actually just nailed it right there, and that's actually been something that Dan Bongino's been talking about too. Is that's exactly the mentality of these leftists now. They hate us so damn much that they have to do everything that we support. They do the opposite of. It's the same thing with the Ray Epps thing. That Ray Epps is now coming out at Fox News that we are actively, and our congressmen are actively questioning Christopher Wray. Why have you not arrested Ray Epps? Why are you not questioning him? Why is it he's the only one that has not been arrested when people have been arrested for not even going into the Capitol building? But he is on multiple videos and instigating, telling people the day before we need to go into the Capitol, whispering in people's ears to knock over a fucking barrier. He is the most obvious instigator of all of them, and he's the only one who has not been arrested. So now we're actually actively asking, look at this guy, arrest him, put him in jail, and question him on what's going on. And guess what the media does? Now the media says, poor Ray Epps is being attacked. Poor Ray Epps is being attacked by the right. This man is no longer a Trump supporter. He made mistakes. Why would they be doing that? Because it's the opposite of what we want. Why would they be running cover for them when they are the same people who says every single person who showed up at January 6th, not even just people who are at the Capitol, if you showed up at the fucking rally, at the Trump rally, you need to be arrested. You are part of the greatest insurrection, but not Ray Epps. And why? Because we want Ray Epps arrested. So therefore, he's a darling for them.
Yep. No, they actively do what is against the best interest of the people of this country, and quite frankly, they're probably people even on the center left, so to speak, or Democrats or whatever, who like, oh, I don't understand this Ray Epps guy, like what's going on with that. And you know what? To them, because you are not a part of the far left ideology, you question the system. You are the enemy. That's exactly how cults work, and it's no different than an organization that decides to traffic children. It's like, well, wait, hold on a second. Wait, you're questioning what we're doing? It's like, well, maybe this isn't right. Maybe we shouldn't do this, or I don't know. I don't want to hit the 12-year-old girl because it's like, okay, well, guess what? Now you're enemy number one. You're going to hit the little girl, or I'm going to put a bullet in the back of your head. That's the way it is. This is just different degrees of you're going to do as I say. And if you don't, we're going to destroy your life.
They have a certain level of comfort in not pushing boundaries. They want to keep their head stuck in the sand. And technically, I can understand that. I used to be more center leaning with a lot of my beliefs. Like when I was younger, was practically a bleeding heart liberal. And I didn't research anything. I just floated through life. And I believed things that I heard without looking at them. Like I would share Snopes articles on Facebook when someone said something that was potentially conspiracy theory level. And I would just search on Google and I'd be like, oh, first thing that comes up is Snopes. I wouldn't read what Snopes said. I would just like, there's a Snopes that says it's false, guys. And now I look back at myself and I'm like, what the hell were you doing? What were you thinking? And that's kind of how I see the media. And so one of the reasons that this movie affected me the way that it did is when I was in the military, we would get sent on. That was my other point, actually. So back to the media, trying to pretend that it doesn't exist. This human trafficking, child trafficking doesn't exist. Go fuck yourself. Because every time I was sent to the Philippines on a training op in the military, I had to have a briefing about don't go anywhere alone. There's human trafficking. You could get snatched right up. Everybody has to have a battle buddy. Here's the procedures. Here's the policy that we have to follow before we even leave the ground to go here. You need to understand that this is a dangerous location and you can get snatched right up real easy.
Yep.
And like when we went on Liberty at like specific times when our shifts were done or whatever, there are things that are just normal in the Philippines that you essentially don't think about. And I was young and we drank a lot. And I thought that I did what I could for certain people that are affected that live there. So watching this movie was extremely difficult. Because it's such a problem in the world that no one wants to acknowledge, and they just turn the other way because it's too hard. And, oh, that's the normal thing. It's a normal here. They're okay. It's fine. I can't do anything about it. That's the mindset of a lot of people. Sorry, I'm getting a little emotional.
It's not my problem, is what you hear all the time in this country.
I'm too small. I can't do anything about it. I can't change this, but I can do what I can.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I mean, we talk about all the time, or I mean, at least people on our side of the aisle, we talk all the time about. It's absolutely insane that the left want to talk about slavery that happened hundreds of years ago here in this country, and then completely ignore the massive amount of slavery that's happening now. There's more slaves at this time in the world than there ever was in history, but they don't care. They don't care. And again, unfortunately, the reason is it's not because they're bad people, and that I don't think it's not even so much that they unfortunately, for the same reason, like Tiff, like you were just saying, like you would share those Snopes articles and everything else. For one, I hate using this word because people take it out of context. They take it as an insult to hear the word ignorant. Ignorant doesn't mean you're stupid. It's a completely different word. Ignorant means a lack of information. And it's not an insult. People are ignorant of the truths that are happening because they are completely gaslit, for one.
A lot of them are willfully ignorant.
This is true too. Yeah. But it is also, I mean, I go back to my psychological operations background, that I see the PSYOP all the time. The common messaging, the repeated uses of certain words and images and everything else. It's a repeat pattern. It's one thing that's, it's so obvious, when you hear them all spouted QAnon, but there's so many other different tropes that just become obvious that it's a coordinated PSYOP effort. And what they do is they attack your emotions. And that's why they attack that's why they call on and attack the younger people more than anything else, because that's the development of the brain. You are much more emotional rather than rational at a younger age. That's why they are able to weaponize that and use that. So it's, the same thing. Like, I'm sure you were at a younger age when you were sharing the Snopes articles, because they're feeding off of your emotions, and then you grew up and became more rational and logical thinking rather than thinking with your emotions. That's why they're able to do this. It is a massive PSYOP. It is a massively organized PSYOP on our population. Real quick, I don't want to lose this. I mean, this is perfectly good. Coming off of your wonderful rant there. Thank you very much for that. I'm sure that even seemed very difficult to share. So Blue Cord Devil popping with the 7.62, much appreciated, my friend. The time my fire department came across this was a 4-year-old. I'm assuming that means 4-year-old, and just hit him by accident. 4-year-old. Sheriff deputies had to keep us from plugging our 2.5-inch fire hose up where. Thank you, Blue Cordell. Appreciate it, buddy, and appreciate your restraint from shoving that up his you know where, because he probably would have
Enjoyed it.
Do you think if if it wasn't law enforcement that did it, do you think that they would still get off? Because I get what you guys were saying, that if as a cop, if you were to beat the shit out of one of these people, then that will get them off. But if a fucking fire department doesn't, should be all right, right?
No, nobody's.
Unfortunately, they would have to arrest the firefighter, and
well,
yeah, you wouldn't. No, you don't. But... No, you don't. You can be like, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, Raster, you and I both know that that doesn't
work.
It doesn't work because it compromises our morality, even though, quite frankly, these people are less than human. They're monsters.
I make exceptions. It's called being morally flexible. I make it. There's exceptions to every rule. I can't be a stickler for everything.
Trust me, I feel you, dude.
It's called discretion, Ryan.
It's called discretionary.
It's called. It doesn't say that you must charge. It says you may charge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If the guy doesn't like it when he's done, getting pounded in prison or whatever, in jail or whatever, he can go take a warrant out himself for his misdemeanor warrant.
Right.
So.
You'd be like,
I should have thought to bring that up as an article too. The gymnastics coach apparently got stabbed a dozen fucking times in prison.
Yeah.
I guess he can't get that warrant then.
Oops.
It's kind of like the guy in a Family Guy. Oh no.
God, what did he do for a decade? He was a gymnastics doctor, and he's like,
the FBI knew about it and did nothing.
I just hope that they put him back in Gen Pop after he's healed up.
I'm glad he survived, to be honest, so he can do it again.
That's what I said. I said, you know what? You can't put these people in Gen Pop because you know what? The criminals will police their own because most criminals have children.
Yeah.
I say that these criminals need to realize it's better to not kill them and just make them suffer. Stop trying to go for the vital organs. Just stab him in the stomach a dozen times. He'll survive. Jeremy Warren popping in with a $2. There's a reason why I'm pro death penalty. Amen to that.
Cheers. I'm all good with it. Yeah. Yes. I realize that 30, 40 years ago, the death penalty was really iffy because we didn't have DNA technology. It was just 30 years ago, fingerprinting. Before that, it was just we see your boots on the ground and you got blood on your t-shirt, and it's it's but now
it's not really that much.
Go ahead, Gal, and then
I was just going to say, I need there to be absolute, definitive, clear-cut evidence for it. So there's a case that the Murdoch case, where I can't remember where it was, North or South Carolina or something, where he supposedly killed his wife and son. And I believe the death penalty is where he's at.
Shotgun blast to the son's face and AR rounds to the wife laying in the hallway.
That was crazy. That the one piece of evidence that got him was because I think it was the son shared a video of the dog in a pen or something like that, and you could hear the father's voice in the background that proved he was there at the time.
So
it was it was a 2 seconds on that video got him busted.
There's some evidence that was allowed that really is questionable. And
it was covered by Nick Rekieta.
Yeah. So I watched brackets for it, and they're the judge allowing them to essentially use his crimes as a lawyer or not. Was he a lawyer? Whatever he was.
Previous
Like,
crimes.
yeah.
Previous,
Like,
yeah, he was an attorney, but he also had previous dealings that were unethical. We'll say that.
But they're not applicable to the case, is my issue with it. It's literally character evidence to color the opinions of the jury.
It's circumstantial at best.
Right.
And that's given it a lot of credibility.
There was a lot allowed in that trial that I don't feel should have been. I'm not a lawyer. I am a Rekieta watcher. And I sit back and learn what I can from that. So I do technically have an issue with the state killing a citizen if it is not clear cut. You can prove that this person did what they did without question. So,
well, I mean, that's supposed to be the rule of the law for everything, though.
Right. And I just don't trust our government and biases of judges.
Yeah, true.
Shellback,
was it you want to say?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, as far as death penalty goes, you know, unless they're, I don't know, for lack of a better term, dealt with right when said transgression takes place, I would rather them be sentenced to life in prison and spend the rest of their life in a freaking box, because you know, lethal injection is pretty much, you know,
it's like the easy way
thing.
out.
You know, that's like the only thing on the list now, as far as, you know, and all you do is go to sleep. You know, to me, the death penalty is not punishment anymore.
Yeah,
and
I can agree with that. It's like the easy way out. I mean, hopefully we can hope that the afterlife does involve them, you know, burning in the pits of hell. But yeah, it is like the easy way out. And I feel like, yeah, them suffering in prison would be a better way. But then again, I mean, there's, you know, other than the kitty dinklers, there's other people out there that they can make actually a good life for themselves in prison. So yeah.
Boosh, I know. I was just trying to be roundabout. It's like, I get it, dude. No, Boosh is a great guy. He comes by all my streams, but yeah, he's putting it in layman's terms for you know, circumstantial evidence is like he lived there, therefore it was him. Yes, exactly. And then of course, beyond the scope means those testimonies had nothing to do with the murder trial. Yes, exactly.
To be fair, I didn't follow too much of it. I can't remember what video it was. I saw you were saying I was wrong. I saw some video that explained it, and in their explanation, they said that what I was saying that was what got him arrested. So, I mean, if there's more to it, I'm ignorant of the case. So
also at the same time, one of the reasons that So basically, the younger son was a drunken, druggy alcoholic who liked to party. He got a girl killed while boating. So I took a lot. Boosh says, I took law classes. I too am a Rekieta watcher. Well, welcome to the club, buddy, because Rekieta is great. So yeah, so the son basically killed a young lady well boating under
intoxicated.
Heavily intoxicated, not just on alcohol but presumed to be drugs as well. His father was a high profile attorney in the county and stuff like that, so the family got away with a lot more than they should have. I believe that it was the oldest boy that was actually the top-notch one, the one that was actually respectable. And so the father was not technically GPS wise in the area when said things went down, but I mean we can rehash this on
I didn't mean to derail anything.
No, you're good.
That was just the example that was
promised. This is true. The cops and the courts cut for Murdaugh's son. Yes, that is very much true. More than once, by the way. More than once.
So Well, yeah. I mean, this could be a good conversation to do another time.
Yeah.
I definitely didn't mind having that quick little convo about it. But we are coming up on 2 hours. I know that Ryan was prepped to have us discuss the Ray Epps situation. How do you guys feel about that? Do you want to do another day, or do you guys want to talk about it now?
I mean, I would be okay with talking about another day because maybe a little more will develop.
Yeah.
I know that Dermy is the one who brought it to my attention. Oh, Blue Card Devil.
Yeah. Popping with another 7.62. Let me go ahead and pull this up because I love you, man. Thank you so much. And also I had a wait, what just happened? Did we both pull at the same time?
My computer is faster than yours. I can tell right now because I pulled it up and you brought it down.
Oh, I didn't even see it. It just like turned into a blur on my screen. It was weird.
It blipped.
Hey, I built that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why did you send him a slow computer then?
I did sell him a slow computer. Now he slowed it down himself.
Okay.
All that prawn.
Wow. You got to get off the hub, dude. Get off the hub.
Yeah.
It might be that I have all of the other different social sites up pulled all in different windows on the other screen right now. That very well could be what's kind of blogging. Whatever. 762 Blue Cordell, which by the way, we had a conversation. He was a pig gunner. He was an M60 gunner, so that's why he's always dropping the 762. That was his caliber. This is like this new lawsuit against the ATF where an agent has no discretion. Yeah. Just enters info. AI Spartan decides. Am I the only one that's just a little bit confused by that?
Hold on. So,
Like new lawsuit against the ATF.
This is like the new lawsuit against the ATF, where an agent has no discretion, just enters the info of the
AI Spartan decides.
So like the AI decides.
Yeah. No, okay. No, I see what he said.
Yeah, so I mean the ATF being the ones, just having absolutely no regards for anything, just going into Waco and everything else, just blowing shit up and having no accountability.
I apologize if you can hear the cat meowing.
Yeah, I can hear the damn cat. Jesus Christ,
okay.
Woman. The fuck is wrong
the
with you?
ATF is the first.
Get your pussy to shut the fuck up. You got a very loud pussy.
She's making it sound.
Oh, you made her go off camera. I do like that she's a green-haired anti-liberal, but on her little profile picture thing, she's got red hair.
That's a wig, but I've gone through many a hair color. Green's just my favorite.
It's called false advertising, woman.
But never blue or purple.
Calm your titties.
I did say it was. Look, I'm
say calm your titties.
Yeah, I'm not wearing a fucking push-up bra like fucking Adam did when he was going hiking. He's like shots.
Oh, like
well, Tiff wouldn't if MVP was here.
Oh my God.
It was a camelback, and it works to have it attached in the middle. So when you're running or moving fast, the fucking straps don't slide off your shoulders. It keeps everything in place.
It's okay if you like support. We know. It's okay.
Yeah, no, I know
support.
I know where it was attached.
Take the city and give it back to you, the people.
We give it to you, the people. Trying to do my best way that
someone needs to Photoshop you in that get up or whatever, but with just a Bane mask on.
Yeah, I heard you trying to get Devil Made Me Do It to do it.
Yeah,
Devil Made Me Do It's not in here for political shows. But yeah, let's we can go ahead and wrap it up. You know what? I still want to play this though. We don't have to have a conversation about it. It definitely doesn't merit conversation. It just merits fucking putting a light on these fucking people.
Woman to have a successful uterus transplant. Over
God.
What?
Want to be the first trans woman to have an abortion.
I'm not even gonna play anymore.
It doesn't work that way.
Here's the thing.
Well, it doesn't work that way. But the sickest thing is that it only wants to do it so it can kill a child.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
okay. So here's the thing: a lot of people don't realize now that with every transplant, you're on immunosuppressants for the rest of your life, and it has to be replaced usually on a regular basis. And no one at no point in time now is going to actually give, if it was possible, to transplant a uterus just to make you feel better about yourself.
Again, it's not even to become more of a woman, just so it can have an abortion.
Well,
That's all
does
it
the
is.
dumbass not know? Does the dumbass not know that the skeletal structure is actually different? They would have to alter his.
I don't think
freaking
it's even worth
skeletal
going into that
structure.
discussion. The point of it is just to have an abortion.
Right? Yeah.
And if I was to play the video even more, I'm gonna just say whatever, so that the transphobes can lose their mind.
Can you play the full retard clip for that guy? Just please.
Yeah, might as well. Oh, yeah, I don't have the screen share.
Apparently, no, he cannot.
Hold on. I was playing them like, oh wait, I guess share the screen.
I will let a doctor who has successfully transplanted a uterine complex before cut the organs out of a willing, healthy, transmasculine donor, place them in my body. I will devote myself, heart and soul, to their aftercare. I will have as much gay sex as it takes with as many trans women as it takes, and let the transphobes and homophobes scratch their heads wondering what to make of it. And I want to be the first trans woman to have an abortion.
It's just a celebration.
Yeah. Also, at the
It's a
same
celebration
time,
for people.
it's because this psycho individual would become the next Dylan Mulvaney.
Yeah.
Millions of dollars, endorses, all that kind of crap. It's a vanity project. These people just want attention.
This person is like a prime example of like somebody should have pulled out. Okay, somebody. Right.
There's one, like I said earlier, I started watching InfoWars again, largely because, Alex Jones is right. But I mean, look at this. Like, the person even has, like talking about Illuminati, I've really stopped getting into that shit. But he's actually wearing a fucking Illuminati fucking pyramid in the eye there. Like, I don't even know what to think of that. Does this person actually have the Illuminati belief? I mean, I don't even know what to think of that.
I don't think they have the mental capacity. I think they just, because it looks.
I think this is a rainbow. I think this is a rainbow Illuminati one too. I think this might be like someone in this. I don't know. I can't even wrap my head around these fucking people.
That person's not smart enough for the Illuminati.
These aren't people. They're ghouls.
This is a fucking demon.
It's like a pedophile version of Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't get that fucking retard off the screen. What did you say? Wait, what did you call it? This person has relations with the trans woman. Yeah, I'm so confused by that too. This is again. This person, this fucking weirdo, wants us to get confused and blow our minds or whatever. We're not blowing our minds over it. You're fucking weird. You are a fucking demonic psychopath that has no fucking rational thought.
Let me make a secular, take to this. Okay, so life on this planet has been around for millions of years. Okay, all the other living life forms on this planet can get along with as they are, as they're born, or they just don't survive. And part of that is fucking. I think the reason why aliens do not contact us is because they come down and say, these fuckers don't even know what they're supposed to be fucking. It's not even, I'm not, and that's not a jab at gay people. Y'all know y'all want to fuck somebody, but me, I'm still trying to wrap my head. Like, okay, so are they really a man? Are they really a woman? When they say they're a trans man, trans woman, which one are they saying that they are? Which one are they? And I'm like trying to think about which one it is, and then talk about having relationship with them. And I'm like, boy, weren't they gay before? And it's just, if I have to bring out a chalkboard to figure you out and everything, and what you fuck and everything, I'm sorry, you brought this on yourself.
Fucking
flavor of the
you
week.
have a mental illness.
Yeah,
that's what non-binary is. Flavor of the week.
Yeah.
I was
about to break down what I do believe this fucking weirdo was talking about. It doesn't even
matter.
Doesn't matter.
Yep.
No. This person deserves no fucking attention. Just deserves to go into the deep pits of fucking hell. So, on that happy fucking ending of a thought, great show, everybody. I'm really appreciative for everyone who hung around as we really got into this shit. But like I said, this is Knife Hands, where we get into some very deep fucking conversations, and it got a little sad here. But go ahead.
You know, Adam, though, I'm gonna thank you though. I'm gonna thank you for playing that clip, because now I think Dermy might actually be a normal person.
Definitely normal relative to that thing. This is very true. So yeah, with that being said, we'll go ahead and wrap this up. And thank you, Boosh. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, this I mean, all being said, yeah, this was dark. It was sad, but this was a very good show, and this was a really good conversation. And I thank you all, every one of you, for participating in this, and everyone, sharing our stories, and being able to open up a little bit, because I'm being totally serious. That this stuff is hard to talk about. It's awful, and but I think that this is a good conversation. I just, that's all I really want to get to. Jedi Cool Gamer, just want to say hi before y'all. Thank you for your service. Thank you very much, Jedi Cool Gamer. Thank you, appreciate that. So, all right. So next week we'll talk about Ray Epps. Hopefully some more things are going to pop up with that. This Saturday we've got some conversations. We're going to talk about some movies and some fun stuff in pop culture, and try to lighten it up after this shit. So we'll start down the bottom there and say goodbye, and to green-haired anti-liberal gal. Go ahead and promote your channel.
You didn't even have to tell me in the beginning to do it. So what? You just had to get it in at the end? Like, I don't
promote your channel, woman.
Promote your channel.
I just dropped a video on my channel. Thank you guys for that.
Women always back talking. Jesus Christ.
I'm a Marine.
You're also a woman.
Marine.
Yeah, that too. So it's a volatile combination. Anyway, check out my new video on my channel. It's a review/discussion of The Sound of Freedom. I did try to keep it neutral, like no politics or anything like that. It was just about the importance of it and what I thought about the video itself, the movie itself. And I do have a Rumble as well, green-haired anti-liberal. You can find me there, and Instagram, if you just look up green-haired anti-liberal as well. And
Femrine.
Well, I mean,
nice Boosh, very nice.
Well done.
Boosh is from many of my my streams. So nice, Boosh.
Do you guys know the reference of a WM when it comes to women Marines?
WM? I've never heard that.
Walking mattress.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the army, we should just call them community bicycles.
Nice.
Everybody gets a ride.
Air Force, we call them nurses.
Okay, well, in the army, I dated a nurse, and she was not like that. So it's like,
but anyway,
in the Air Force, you call them runway models. Relative to everything that we got.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, runway models.
Real quick, saying goodbye to our friend Blue Cord Dill. Peace and prayers, Adam Gal, everyone else. Watchy 6, still asking for prayers for my wife. Yes, thoughts, love, and prayers.
Always sending your wife. Away.
Absolutely, my friend. Thank you very much, and thank you for the super chats. You did not need to do that, but you always come through, and I love you, dude. Thank you so much for supporting the channel the way you do.
And thanks for the crayons.
Yes.
That you just mentioned.
Shellback, TJC, our Navy veteran, which you can now go ahead and keep on throwing the weird gay jokes at the Army now, thanks to our Major Jones.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
No, yep. I am Shellback TJC on the YouTubes and the Twitters, and I'm just my little pitch is just gonna be go see Sound of Freedom. It will make you mad. It will make you sad, but you will definitely be also glad that you went and saw it. So do it. That includes you, Adam. Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Do it. Everyone should go see it if you can stomach it. I don't know if I can stomach it. We'll see. We'll see. I don't want to push you, gal, but
what does that even mean?
Never watched Futurama, huh? Never mind.
Oh,
You've never seen Futurama?
Didn't have any interest. I'm an anime gal. That just looks.
Freaking Futurama is great.
What in the fuck? You've also never seen
America.
We don't have to rehash that.
Oh, that's right. You've never seen Team America.
You've never seen Team America. Like, what in the fuck? You've never seen Futurama, Team America. Have you seen The Simpsons?
I don't like The Simpsons.
How about Married with Children?
I love Married with Children.
Okay, well, you redeemed yourself for 20%.
A little bit.
I haven't seen South Park like start to finish. I've seen some pieces.
I don't think anybody has.
I've seen a good chunk of it. I'll just let everybody know who's not from the Colorado. That Casa Bonita is an actual real place.
I've never.
Is it
been
really?
there.
I think it must be. I think my impression. I think that I assume that everything is actually a real place for the most part.
Yeah. So the song Casa Bonita, that's a real place.
That's awesome. I love it. Hold on, real.
I apologize for the cat in the background. I really do. He's being massive.
Yeah, I got 2 cats, and yours is louder than both of mine combined.
Stop playing. Okay, hold on.
He's an outside cat.
Stop playing what?
Every time I try to get off of this screen, and the video would start playing again. Okay, this is
snow.
It's dog's first time. Be gentle.
Those lucky dudes.
I know.
Bender, maybe you can interface with the femputer and reprogram it to let them go.
Maybe you can interface with my ass by biting it. All right, I'll go.
Yeah.
Snow.
Yeah.
Oh,
baby. Yeah.
Damn it, they're not gonna. Fuck, they didn't even say it. Damn it.
What to do with Snoo? I don't get it.
Snooze first time.
No, hold on.
It's death by Snoo.
I've apparently lost favor with Whoosh. I'm sorry, Whoosh.
Let me find this video real quick. Let me get through the ads.
Oh my God!
Use an ad block.
You want die like last men visit Amazonia? What'd they die of? Crushed pelvises. Yes!
Oh, thank you, Lord in heaven.
After lengthy femputations, I, Femputer, have decided the fate of the men. Femputer sentences them to death! By Snoo!
Yeah! What are you, gay?
What are you, gay?
When did they say me wants Snoo? Because I swear that is a thing, but I can't picture when they say that.
It is. It's later on in the episode because it's death by Snoo, and then of course it's
No, but the guys show up in their pelvis, and they got braces around their pelvises, and they say me like Snoo, but I don't remember anyone
actually.
actually.
In this world, there are no 15-foot tall women.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Well, not with that
All right.
attitude, no.
As a man who is 6'4", there are no massively tall women to snoo me.
Yeah. I did have one.
I mean,
in my
I could
hometown
get
that
snoo and maybe some snoo, but no snoo.
No snoo. No, you need to be 15 tall for the full snoo. All right, Raster, go ahead.
Bye.
Thank you. Ryan.
I'm gonna follow that with death by snoo. So
Yeah. All right, everybody. Remember, everyone's videos or channels and everything are in the video description below. Everyone's showing some love. I'm glad whoever it was, I dropped the links for our Twitter. Somebody was looking for our Twitter, so thank you for checking out that. Everyone out there, thank you guys so much. I do have my soundboard. I have nothing to play right now, though. We'll have some more fun with the soundboard and everything on Saturday, on Skinamax Saturday at 10 o'clock Eastern. We're going to talk some movies, pop culture, just do some shots, talk a lot of shit. It's going to be a fun time. And always remember, if you enjoy the political content, we're always here every single Thursday, 10 o'clock Eastern, here in Vets Talking. Be sure to remember to double tap that like and subscribe, ring that bell so you get the notifications. Drop a comment if you're rewatching this. But if you ever miss a show and it's not on the channel, all these shows get unlisted. It's a stupid YouTube algorithm thing. It works better that way, but it's all in the playlist. There's a Knife Hands playlist. There's a Skinamax Saturday playlist. So if you want to catch up on a show, they're in the playlist. They're not going to be on the main channel. But do share us out there with everybody. Thank you guys so much. I love you all. It's been awesome. Remember, you don't got to be a vet to enjoy this content. Just don't get butthurt. You've been warned.